And we should be live. Welcome to the Crypto Factor. Welcome to another show. This is an impromptu show, and today we're talking to Zach Burks of Mintable. We're going to be talking about NFTs, what you can do with NFTs, where NFTs are, where we're heading, anything NFT related. We're going to be talking about it. Zach, welcome back to the show. This is your second time here. How do you feel, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, Paul. I appreciate it. You guys, you got, I don't want to say the best show on YouTube, but you got a pretty good show, man. So I'm happy to be here.
You can say best show, man. You can say best show. And but yeah, it's always good to have you here, man. And basically, the world of NFTs is just growing while people think it's actually going down, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we start, if you're just joining us, go ahead and click that like button for the Crypto Factor, but also check the links down below, because you have to check out mintable.app. It's the best NFT platform in the universe, not in the world, the universe, because we also have metaverses and stuff like that. And check out Zach Burks' first interview with us. It's also down below. So I just want to say a big hi.
Now that you said Mintable is the best in the world, I mean, I gotta say, or the universe, I gotta say, okay, your show is hands down the best in the galaxy.
See, there you go. Now we have an understanding. Right.
Cool.
So I see Escanor already here saying hello and commenting on my shirt, which is new, kind of. Well, it is new actually. And I also see somebody saying "bold guy." Yes, thank you for your perception there. So let's talk about NFTs. Let's not go for the basics. If anybody wants to know the basics of NFTs, they can look at the link down below. But NFTs, non-fungible tokens, Zach, just for reference, what they are and where are we heading right now? Because a lot of people think that NFTs are over. That people are not buying, but on the contrary, we're seeing maybe even an uprise from the peak, from the bull mania, if you will, for NFTs, correct?
I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it. NFTs are very different from like Bitcoin or Ethereum and traditional crypto. And so when you look at something like, say, a chart, and people say it's the top of NFTs, you're thinking like the top of Bitcoin, where it hits it and the bubble bursts, right? But that's not how it works with NFTs. Instead, it's more like a online shop, right? If you do really well in 1 month, the next month maybe you're not at the all-time high of traffic, but you're still doing really, really well, right? And so over time, you'll see a spike, and then it'll go up, and you'll see a spike again, it'll go up, it'll continue to trend upwards. And that's what we're seeing right now with NFTs, is a continual trend upwards. We're definitely not back at the levels that we were at last year. We're still way surpassed that. We're probably going to do $3.5 billion this year in NFT transactions across the world, right? Where last year we did 300 million. So there's a huge difference. Yeah. It's almost 10x.
It's better than Dogecoin. For the comparison, and there's some people, pretty big people or sport teams getting involved right now. Can you tell us some of the latest people getting involved with NFTs?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone's getting involved. Katy Perry just announced an NFT. Twitter just did an NFT. The creator of the World Wide Web just did an NFT. Robbie Fowler, we're going to announce our NFT drop. So here's some alpha leak for you guys. We're going to drop with Robbie Fowler, a Liverpool legend. We're probably going to announce that tomorrow, and that's going to go live on the 9th of July. So, he's a huge football player. He's literally like a legend in terms of football and soccer. So, there's a lot of different athletes, a lot of different celebrities, brands, but then also normal artists, right? So with Mintable, I mean, we're seeing insane growth just every month of just new signups, new people making NFTs. And it's partly because on Mintable, we're the only place on the internet that you can make an NFT for free. If you want to use another platform, you have to have Ethereum, you have to be able to pay the transaction fees, which could be $10, it could be $100, depending on what you're doing. But with Mintable, it's completely free. So for someone like, say, my mom, who's got no crypto, she can come along and she can make an NFT of her artwork, and then when that sells, she makes her very first Ethereum, right? And that's super awesome. That's super powerful, and this is why a lot of people are using Mintable over other marketplaces, just because people are smart. If it costs you $100 to do something on one platform, but you can do it for free on Mintable, and there's way more things you can do on Mintable, there's no reason to use it on other platforms, right?
Right.
And so that's essentially that's what we're seeing.
But Mintable is also the only platform that accepts credit card or debit cards for bids, right? Which is a huge difference.
Exactly. And so that goes back to that mom example. My mom, she can make an NFT for free, but if she wants to buy your NFT, she doesn't have Ethereum. So how's she going to do that? So we're the first open marketplace to allow for any NFT to be purchased with credit card or debit card, right? So if you have a crypto kitty and you list it for sale on Mintable, I can come along and I can buy it with my credit card. I'm not buying Ethereum first and then executing a transaction afterwards. It's literally putting my credit card, boom, NFT goes to my wallet, right? And that's it. And it's a really easy process. It's really cool. And so this is, again, one of the things that Mintable does really well is we try to be mass market, and we try to do something so that it's a very familiar experience.
So where are NFTs being used for today? Because it's not just about art; it's about so many things that you can do with NFTs. Well, give us some examples.
Yeah, so we had someone sell a Ford Mustang on Mintable
Really?
like last week.
Oh yeah, the blue one.
Yeah, the blue Ford Mustang, right? And so, that's really interesting because, uh, say, I mean, you can buy that with your credit card, I guess, but most people that are going to buy that are probably going to pay with crypto, right?
Yeah.
But you can buy a car and the NFT that comes with the car with crypto, or we've seen things like paintings. So I actually bought, because I collect NFTs. I've been in the NFT space forever. I got hundreds of NFTs, and I saw some art that I really liked. It was really intricate art, and it was affordable. It was a few $100s. So I bought it, and the reason I bought it is because it came with a physical print, and they mailed me the print. And I mean, I've got it downstairs. I wish I would have brought it. I could have shown it off. It's really cool. But so you can get physical items as well. And with Mintable, we have a direct messaging. So no other marketplace, which I don't know why. It's not hard to make, but no other marketplace has a direct messaging. So we have direct messaging, and so after I bought the NFT, I just sent them a message, and I said, hey, I bought the NFT. Here's my shipping address. I'm looking forward to receiving it, right? And they mailed it out. They gave me the tracking number and everything. It was really easy. So that's like physical items. You have a car. We've seen houses try to be sold on Mintable, music, videos, documentaries. Right now, someone's selling the rights. There's a seller who owns a rights studio that has the rights to a lot of martial arts films with Jackie Chan, and he's selling the rights to those films so that you can put the films up on streaming sites, or get revenue and royalties from licensing out those films. And so that's really cool. So with Mintable, because we allow you to upload up to 2 gigabytes of any file, a zip file, a PDF, a movie, images, whatever, it allows for you to make a lot of things as NFTs. And this is something that, again, other platforms just don't do. And so we see a ton of different variety on the Mintable marketplace.
Escanor is Wintermute. Great name, by the way. I like that. Wintermute says, "Have you seen what Nike is planning with NFTs? Crypto kicks."
Yeah. So they filed a patent. Has it been 2 years now? I don't know. It's been a while. I saw when the patent came out. I think it has been 2 years. Crazy. And yeah, they're releasing NFTs for their shoes, and then they're going to be used in the metaverse in some way, whether it's games or whether it's in like Decentraland or other. Yeah, and so that's cool. And at least they have a good utility, and it's not like Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell made some NFTs, and a lot of people were not happy with that. And so at least what Nike's doing is really cool with the utility and the use case of their NFTs. And so, yeah, I think we're going to find that as time goes on, NFTs make a lot of sense for brands and celebrities and content creators to utilize. And so that's not going to stop. You're going to see, just like how, if you go to certain, content creators or brands, you can buy merch. Most brands sell something anyway. So like if you go to Nike, obviously you can buy Nike shoes. But they have more things, and they have more things associated with their brand, right? You might buy a hat just for the Nike logo,
Yeah.
right? And so why wouldn't they want digital products as well? A digital Nike shoes or a Nike hat that you can wear in a metaverse, or they partner with, some big game, and if you own that NFT, you get that item in the game, right? And so it makes a lot of sense for brands to utilize NFTs, and that's never going to stop. What we're actually going to see is it's just going to increase, right? Fox, the media company Fox, they just invested $100 million in a new TV show that utilizes NFTs, right? So that's really big if you think about it. One, it's $100 million. That's a lot of money, but it's a TV show with NFTs, and it's from the creator of Rick and Morty. And so NFTs are not going away anytime
No,
soon.
no,
And
I think they're decoupling from cryptocurrency in general, and you're gonna be using NFTs whether you know it or not in the background, behind the scenes, whether you know it's an NFT or not, pretty soon. And I think it was Andres Antonopoulos talking about how NFTs could become the key to your car. Like you could just give the other person the NFT, pass it over to him, and then he has access to that, which is crazy.
yeah, most definitely. You could. And I mean, NFTs act as a membership token in some ways. And so you can have, a section of your website where only people that own the NFT have access to, this section of my form or VIP section on my website. And so this is all something that, is just going to come over time as people build different utility and different tools around them. Like we have a widget for you to embed all your NFTs on Mintable on your website. So if you have a Shopify store, or if you have a WordPress blog, or if you have even a Wix website, you can embed your NFTs that you've created on Mintable for sale on your website. And this is really cool too, especially for artists, because a lot of artists are not tech savvy. Like they're not programmers, so they can't really, customize and embed stuff. And so we made a tool for that. And this is all just, the beginning stages. Eventually there'll be tools for, you to have NFTs as a physical item on the shelf. For like, if you go to a Nike store, there'll be the crypto kicks on the shelf next to like the Jordans, right? And it's going to be common. So yeah.
Yeah, and all these companies with the NFTs, they're getting a lot of advertising back to them as well, because not just to the crypto market. Everyone thinks, oh, okay, we're marketing to crypto marketing, they're marketing to the crypto people, big deal. No, it's not like that, because if you're wearing those Nike shoes, those crypto kicks in a game in Decentraland, or your player has an esports, or I don't know what, or it's just 10xing their branding efforts for the future, because it's not just one person wearing them in real life, it's everywhere virtually, it goes everywhere, right? So it's a pretty big deal for their marketing as well, so they're getting a lot out of it, not just money for the purchase, if you will.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for brands to be utilizing NFTs. And that's what I'm saying is it's a new revenue stream, it's a new demographic that they're able to address. It's a whole new vertical, essentially, of product that they're selling. You can have companies that, really any kind of company can utilize NFTs in some way, shape, or form, whether it's using them as a coupon or whether it's using them as a product to be sold. There's a whole new avenue for them to approach. It's like the internet in the early 90s where, everyone needed to have a website because it can augment their business. And this is, a lot of people say it. We're in the early 90s of the internet for NFTs right now.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen in the next 20 years. But the spike that we saw earlier this year is just an example of how influential and how big NFTs can get. And by 2025, so 4 years from now, we'll be doing well over $10 billion in volume a year for NFT sales.
Wow.
Right? And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a market that you want to get into, because when CryptoPunks came out, everyone said, what is this? This is, no one thought it would have value. They give it away for free. And I actually saw them when they were released And I said, why do I want one? I'm not even
Yeah.
going to claim it. Because what's the point? Like, it's cool, it's a novelty, but who cares? Um, and damn, what a mistake, right? Like, who knows? I could have had an alien punk, and it could be worth millions of
Wow.
dollars. So it's something that you want to get in on, like, now, because if I buy an NFT that was made today or last year, and 6 years down the road, it's like CryptoPunks, and it's really popular, and it's got a lot of interest because it's still around, it's still alive. You just scored a gold mine. It's like picking up a rookie card from 20 years ago and keeping it, and then one day you find out that it's worth $100,000,
But a lot
right?
faster.
Right, exactly. And so, it's definitely something that you should participate in, and it's really easy to participate, especially with Mintable. You just pay with your card. You don't have to have crypto, but you can also make a lot of money. There are a ton of people who started with like $1,000 in NFTs, and they would just buy some NFTs for $1,000 basically, and now they have millions because they just flip NFTs. And I've personally, I've been in NFTs for a while. I've traded a lot of NFTs. I made a lot of money with NFTs as well, where I'll buy an NFT for $100 and I'll sell it for 1,000, or I'll buy an NFT for $2,000 and I'll sell it for $8,000, right? And this is actually surprisingly quick. It's not like it takes 6 months to sell it. You buy it, you immediately list it for sale, and you see what happens. And most of the time, more than likely, someone's going to pick it up within a few weeks. And if they don't, then you do a little bit of marketing, you do some salesmanship, and you try to sell it. It's a digital product, so it's almost like a digital. In America, people will go to yard sales on the weekend, right? They'll go to a yard sale and they'll try to find stuff for really cheap and then resell it like on eBay or resell it in other places. And it's like a digital version of that, except with really cool stuff instead of like junk.
By the way, if you're just joining us right now, this is Zach Burks. Today we're talking all about NFTs. If you have any question at all about NFTs, Zach is the man to ask. He is the CEO and founder of mintable.app. And if you're not familiar with Zach personally, then there's a link down below with his interview we did, the first interview we did a while ago, where you can learn more about NFTs, Zach himself, basic NFTs. But please ask your questions in the chat so we can have interaction going here. I'm not going to ask you to click the like button because you should have done that already. Shame on you if you have not done that already. But Zach Escanor is asking, do you think there is profit chances in the NFT space? And I think you already answered that, but maybe we can retouch on it real quick.
Yeah, so I did kind of just touch on that. You can make a lot of money with NFTs. And even if you only have a few dollars, so you can start with $50 and you can buy an NFT for $50 and then resell it for $200, and you just quadrupled your money. And so when you do that, you have a larger pot to play with. Now you can buy 4 NFTs for $50 and do the same thing again. And you'll find that it's actually a fairly quick process. And if you have trouble selling an NFT, automatically, like if you list it for sale a week later, you've done nothing and it doesn't sell, then at this point you can say, okay, maybe I should go promote it. Maybe I'll promote it on Mintable. Maybe I'll promote it on social media. And you do the normal stuff that you would do when you sell a product online. But there's a lot of money to be made, and especially if you find an artist that, if we're talking about art, that has an up-and-coming followers, or they're growing quickly, or they have really good art, then you get into this realm where you might hit like a gold mine, right? There was a collector and a creator. They created NFTs, but they also bought NFTs. And they started off with just like $100 NFTs, right? They were making an NFT sell for $100. And a few months back, they were only doing it for about 6 months, and their NFTs were going for $100,000. And so, like, to me, when I saw that, because we worked with this artist and like we did their first NFTs with Mintable, I was like really happy. I was like, oh my God, this guy's done it. Like, he's gone from, just being an artist that, no one knows, to now he's selling, 6-figure NFTs. And this is really cool, right? And this is what you want to see, from my end. I want to see these creators having success like this. And so it helps, that he was able to promote it and that his artwork's really cool. And, this story is not unique to him. It can happen to anyone. And that's for a creator. But if you're a collector and you identify that artist early on, right, and you bought one of those NFTs early on, well, you're in a good position now, right? That $100 NFT you bought might be worth $50,000, and so that's a huge,
Yeah.
profit margin essentially from 100 to 50 grand. So yeah, it's definitely life changing if you really dabble with NFTs properly.
We're getting a lot of great questions in the chat, but I'm just gonna add something here. Is another thing you should be doing is learning about NFTs, the platforms, the fundamentals of NFTs, because that education will set you up not just to be an artist, but will set you up working for companies in the future. There's gonna be a lot of them. There's gonna be a lot of demand. We have a lot of demand, and essentially they're going to be everywhere whether you know about it or not. They're going to be behind a lot, so educating yourself on NFTs, how they work, maybe I don't know, how would one get a career in NFTs. And I'm going to go on some really cool questions from the chat, but how would one get a career from NFTs
Um,
other than interviewing somebody like Zach from Mintable and then asking to work for them?
yeah, well, I mean, that's there's no good answer for that because it's not like it's an industry that's been around for 50 years and
Yeah.
there's like known ways to do it. The best I can say is go find our job postings for Mintable and apply.
Yeah.
And then that's a very easy way to do it. But other than that, obviously you need to know the space, you need to know the
Yeah.
technology, and then find a company that's hiring, like Mintable or other NFT projects, and apply. And with crypto, I think it's a very relaxed environment. I know, like for example,
Yeah.
Sushi, the DeFi protocol, they they're so relaxed that like I, it's just so weird. It feels taboo to say it, but like they were talking about it on Twitter how during their like company calls, one of them will be smoking weed and like taking a rip off a bog while they're on like a video chat on Zoom. And
Yeah.
so this is kind of the crypto culture. And I think Uniswap also said the same thing where they're going to do free complimentary weed for their employees. And so like I think working with a crypto company is a very lucrative uh, proposition for any person because not only are they awesome industries to work in, the companies are growing very fast. They have like crazy benefits of maybe getting a coin, getting like I know someone who was paid in a crypto for like the last 3 years, and that crypto is now way more than what he was being paid
Yeah.
in like 2015, and he's made millions of dollars on a salary that normally wouldn't be anywhere near that. And so you're not going to get that opportunity anywhere else. So working for a crypto company is awesome.
Yeah.
Between the free weed and the multitudes
Free
of
weed.
profits you could get, and obviously not every company offers
No.
like free weed or whatever. But I was just giving an example of how relaxed and how progressive crypto companies are. And so with NFTs, there's only a few projects, NFT businesses that are around that are probably hiring right now. Mintable being one of them. I'm sure all the other platforms are also hiring, but there's only a few platforms
There'll
out
be
there.
some new ones as well. There'll be some new ones coming up. If you learn, you could probably start your own company, or even a company that complements companies. Like I'm sure NFT marketing companies. If you know marketing, for example, you can do that. If you know about video, you can do a video company for crypto or NFTs and do that. You can always find your skill, and then you use that to give services to companies, right? I mean, that's something that's very easy to do if you're good at what you're doing, of course. Um, so let's jump into some of these questions, man. Wintermute says, talk a little bit about how Mintable makes money, fee structure, and etc.
Yeah, so like every marketplace, we charge a transaction fee. So it's like 2.5% to 5% or 10%, depending on the type of item. Most items is 2.5%. So if you sell an NFT for $100, we get 250 of that, and then you'll get 97.50, right? Um, and so that's one of the ways that we make money. Another way is we offer like pro services to creators. So if you make an NFT, like say your Mustang, that you wanted to sell, that Ford Mustang, and that's selling for thousands of dollars. So why not pay $100 and have a press release written about it, and then we'll write a press release and we'll
Yeah.
put it out there to our network and cover the NFT, the drop, the listing, everything like that. And so this is some of the ways that we make money. And then we have different features that you can unlock. So like when you create your store, we give everyone 50 batch minting for free, which means that you can make up to 50 tokens for free every time in a single transaction. But maybe you're a project and you want to make 2,000 at a time. Then it's a one-time fee that you would pay us, and it's like $100, I think, and it's one time, and then forever you can make 2,000 per transaction, right? And so that's really good for like a business or a project or anyone that wants to make a lot of NFTs, because it saves them thousands of dollars by using batch minting, and they're only paying like $100 to us. Whereas if you wanted to make 2,000 NFTs, it's going to cost you thousands, like literally 5,000 or more to do that. Or you can just pay us $100 and then you can do it for $200, right? So it's a huge cost savings. So that's some of the ways that we make money.
All right, nice. And Escanor is asking how to choose an NFT. I mean, in crypto, we see market cap, project, utility. So how it works for NFTs?
Yeah, so it's very different from investing in crypto, like cryptocurrencies. So you're not going to look at like market cap. You're not going to look at total value locked and things like this. Instead, you're going to look at it as a normal product. Like you're buying a physical item that you want to resell later, right? So if there's a signed baseball from some famous baseball player and I want to buy that, what am I going to do to evaluate the price of this and if it's worth it, right? I'm going to look at, is it authentic? Is there a market for it? Is this person famous and well known? Will I be able to resell it easily? Is it going to appreciate in value over time? If I buy it now for $10,000, is next year, is it going to be worth $15,000, right? So these things are going to be what you're looking at. And there's no magic answer on how do you know if an NFT is going to be worth more next year or next week or 6 months down the road. But what you can do is you can look at the market overall and you can say, well, look, this is a 3D artwork and this artist has sold all of his artworks. They've all sold out and they've all sold for maybe $100. And you're like, they've all sold out for $100. So if they all sold out for $100 and it's really nice artwork, I would assume that they could probably sell for $200. Yeah. Right? If they sold out at 100, they could probably sell for 200.
Yeah.
So I might buy that for $100 and then resell it for $300. And we'll see if anyone bites. If no one bites, maybe I'll do $250, right? And if no one bites, then I'll put it back at 300 and I'll start promoting it. And I'll start saying, look, this is an awesome artist and all this stuff. This is a beautiful NFT. Does anyone want to buy it? Other times, if it's not art, there's different projects. So like, just to give you an example, there's like MeBits, there's CryptoPunks, there's the Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's a ton of projects that get released all the time with NFTs, and a lot of them don't get picked up very well. They don't really appreciate in value. Some of them do it really quickly and really well. So like Bored Apes, if you got into Bored Apes when they launched, now they're worth a lot more than what you bought them for. And so this is another way is to evaluate the project and the reach of the project, the technology behind it. So if, for example, if you have a project and they store all their metadata for the NFT on the blockchain, that is going to be a lot more valuable because it's forever. It'll never disappear, opposed to a project that uses, Imgur to host their images, right? If you host your images somewhere like, some image hosting website like that, who knows? Those images could disappear next week, right? And then your NFT doesn't have an image anymore, and the value is somewhat lost. And then you look at age as well. Mooncats, for example, was a project that was, I think it was after CryptoPunks by a few months. And when someone found Mooncats and shared it with the NFT community online, there were still a lot of them that never sold when they launched, and they all got purchased, right? And everyone bought them. And it was this huge event where everyone was rushing to buy these things because they were so old and they were still around. And that's an important aspect, is because if you have an NFT that's 3 or 4 years old and it's withstand the test of time, you're looking at something that is pretty valuable in terms of a collectible, because in 50 years it's still going to be around. And so if you have an NFT that's 50 years old, that's crazy, because how many of those are still going to be around at that point? And this is that scarcity aspect and this collectible aspect. So when you evaluate an NFT project, there's a ton of different avenues that you have to account for. And maybe one avenue, like the technology and where the data is hosted, is not very good. But maybe it's from a company that does really good marketing and there's very limited amount of them. You still might make a lot of money. And maybe there is a lot of them and the marketing is really bad, but the technology is really good and the data is all hosted on the blockchain. Then you can still make a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
It might take a little longer, but you could. And so it really just depends on what you're looking for and how you want to approach that, and kind of your own investment style, to really figure it out.
Nice. All right, let's go to the next question. I see a lot of people joining as well. Is there an investable, sorry? Yeah. Is there an investable coin or token that can act as a picks and shovel play for the NFT space? Like, for example, say, NFT marketplace token, if at all there is such a thing, similar to KCS or BNB. The CM fan asks this, by the way.
Yeah, Mintable doesn't have a token. And what we do have is we have an NFT. So we have a governance NFT for our DAO. So if you go to mintable.app/vote, you can see all about our DAO. And our DAO, obviously a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So our DAO runs and governs our smart contracts and the protocol. So basically we'll say, if we want to integrate a DeFi project, or if we want to change our fees on the smart contract, people can vote on that in the DAO. And then if the proposal passes, then it gets implemented. So someone can vote for us to release a ERC20, right? And if it passes, then it would be implemented. So the DAO has a governance token that's an NFT, and whenever you use the platform, you actually earn votes in the DAO, which is an NFT. So you'll get one NFT when you buy your first NFT, or if you sell an NFT on Mintable, you'll get your governance voting NFT. And you'll earn votes over time. But it's a very slow process. You have to do a lot of sales and transactions to earn votes. So there's a bonding curve where you can buy votes directly to participate in the DAO. So with our DAO, the first proposal was to share our transaction fees. So all of our transaction fees are given to the DAO holders. So if you have 25% of all the votes in the DAO, and there's $1 million of transaction fees that we've generated, you can cash out of the DAO, get rid of your 25% of the votes, and then you'll get $250,000 in exchange, right? You can cash out. And so that's really cool, because because there's a bonding curve, the price, always will go up as more are sold. So if you bought in when we released the DAO, the price now is much, much higher for those votes than what it was when it was released. And now you also have access to all this revenue. So, Paul, if you had votes, you can go sell them on Mintable or on OpenSea or on Rarible, because they're an NFT. You can also earn them, and you can also buy them directly, and then use them to cash out or sell them to other people. And so that's one of the ways that you can kind of get involved with, Mintable and taking part in the governance of the platform.
Yeah, and for full transparency, I think I need to say this legally, but I own a shitload, but I'm interviewing Zach, so yeah.
I don't know
Just
if
so
it would be
people
a
don't think,
shitload, right?
they don't think this is all set up for that reason. And another thing for full transparency, I do work for Mintable, so I'm actually hired by Mintable. I've been talking about it on my channel all the time, but if you're just joining right now, just so you know, Mintable, I'm actually part of the team. All right, so let's go to the next question here. And Alexandros Michailidis is asking, which is a Greek name, is asking, how easy is it to set up NFTs, and can they be used as a non-funding, as a fundraising mechanism, such as IPOS would, or EPOS?
Yeah. So very easy to set up an NFT using Mintable. That's what we do. So you could just go to Mintable and within a few seconds have an NFT that you made. And you even create your own smart contract, your own custom NFT store that only you can make NFTs on, and you can use that as a mechanism to raise capital by selling a product, right? Just like how Elon Musk sold flamethrowers to raise money for the Boring Company, you can sell NFTs and use whatever money that you've earned from selling NFTs for whatever you want. So we've seen projects, most creators that are making NFTs are doing it to raise money, right? They want the money from it. And so there's definitely a lot of money that you can make from selling NFTs and then also trading NFTs.
Nice. So let's move on. B-Dub says, and by the way, if you're just joining, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like all things crypto, but make sure you check out Zach Burks on mintable.app. The link's down below on Twitter and on the website. Look, you just gotta do this. NFTs are the future. Just trust me on this. All right. So B-Dub says, I am very bullish on NFTs on the contract angle, like medical records, titles, and vehicles or houses and stuff like that. I don't understand the art side personally, but interested. Well, let's talk a little bit about the art side.
Yeah, well, before NFTs came out, there was really no way for you to take a file and monetize it and add scarcity to it. You can sell a file, but there's no way for you to know that there was only one copy of that file on the internet, right? Or one official copy, right? And so with NFTs, it allows for you to make an official copy, for lack of a better phrase. Essentially, you can say that this is the only one of this that I authorize, and this is the only one that has value. And so when you think about art, that makes a lot of sense because now you can do additions and introduce scarcity to digital art. It's just like physical art. If you only make 5 paintings, well, that's more scarce than if you made 10,000 of the same painting, right? And so this allows for something that we've never been able to do before, and that's why art has really taken off. But contracts and documents, all of that also makes a ton of sense. And with Mintable, we've seen a few different situations where contracts or documents or PDFs have been tokenized and turned into NFTs. And so you can definitely do that, and it applies to a ton of different verticals, whether it's insurance or property rights or medical documents. Although medical documents is a little hard because there's governing regulation over how those are handled and processed and viewed. And so I don't know if we'll see that anytime soon. But yeah.
And by the way, if you were talking about, before we were talking about how to get a career into NFTs, or we were talking about how you can set up a company to market or using your skills, other companies like video, marketing, whatever your skill may be, sales. Another thing you can do if you're an entrepreneurial spirit, you can literally set up a board, if you like on the street, like a big board, and this is just an example, bear with me, and then do the NFT version on the internet, and then just sell ad space for people wanting to advertise their stuff. And this is actually trend stacking because something similar happened back in the day with 1 million pixels sold for each little square for I don't know how much money, and the guy became a millionaire. I think it was like $5 or $10. You can literally take that, use what works, transfer it over into the NFT space. So if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you're listening to this, I just gave you a multi-billion-dollar idea.
Well,
which could work. It could work if done properly.
I don't know if it would work. We've seen a lot of people do that in the NFT space already. Yeah, there's been a ton of products. They always come up like I think just last month I saw someone that introduced the same thing. And they're like, it's the first time ever, first in the world. I was like, no, it's not. There's been like 30 of them that have happened. Because NFT's been around for 4 years now. So yeah, it's every year there's probably 5 people that do that, and I don't.
It's only the first time.
Really, it's definitely not the first time that this has happened in NFTs.
Well, maybe
I think that's a good. it's a good principle to take something that has worked and
A
apply
ca-
it to
yeah,
NFTs.
maybe a car.
But
Maybe you could
but
put ad space on a car, or put a screen on the back of a Hummer, or put screens in a shop and sell that ad space. So maybe it's not a multi-million-dollar idea. Maybe it's a multi-thousand-dollar idea, but still a good idea to get started. You can always learn more after,
yeah.
right? Okay, so let's. SRBG is asking. Hi Nagy Fresh, by the way. How to identify a particular art NFT is genuine and unique, and there are no duplicates of the same art or NFT. And
Yeah,
also,
so
they
that's
say, sorry.
no, sorry. That is a unique thing to NFTs and a hard problem to solve if you don't know blockchain. Mintable, we try to make it really easy. We actually just released yesterday our authenticity feature. So now, whenever someone makes an NFT on Mintable, we actually scan the internet for any copy of that image anywhere, and we show that to you. So when you go look at an NFT on Mintable now, it will show you every place that that NFT or that image or GIF or whatever it is on the internet. So if Paul, if you send me a picture of you and I try to make it as an NFT, it's going to show every website that picture is on, and it's going to tell me, a warning if it's found on a lot of places. Because, like for example, if I take the Mona Lisa and I try to put the Mona Lisa as an NFT, there's going to be a warning that basically says, "Hey, this was found all over the internet. This is probably not original, right? And you should probably not buy this." But then for an NFT that is original, it's going to say it's not found anywhere on the internet. This is almost guaranteed to be an original. And we also will search for visually similar images. So images that look similar in case that maybe they just changed a little bit of the image or something like that. And we're the only marketplace that does this. And so this is a really powerful tool. But the next step is once you confirm that it's not, on 1,000 different websites already, then you need to go check on the blockchain and you need to see, like, has this person made 1,000,000 of these, or have they only made 10, or have they only made one, right? And then you can take that into account when you're buying the NFT.
But you also have the meta code for the advanced users on Mintable, so you can see how many are minted. Correct?
Yeah, so we show all the information. So we show where it's found on the internet. We show all the metadata, which says, who made it, how many have been made,
Yep.
the address that it belongs to, the smart contract address that it was made under. So we show all this information for people. And if you know what you're doing, then you can, use that and you can verify the authenticity. But if you're new to blockchain or crypto, it may just be confusing. And so that's why we put this authenticity feature in to help make things easier.
Nice. SRB says thank you, Zach, for this, and Paul for this valuable live stream, and it is valuable. And if you agree, hit that like button. Not you, Zach, but everybody else. Hit that like button and check out mintable.app. So CFman says thank you as well. Benson Michael, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zach, for all the in-depth breakdown, especially for all the criteria you mentioned for us to look out purchasing NFTs. And yes, thank you too, Paul. I thought that was a question, but thank you. You're very welcome. I saw a long piece of text. I thought there was going to be a question in there somewhere. All right, so Wintermute is asking, are there limits on what is allowed on Mintable as an NFT?
Yeah, so the limits are nothing illegal, right? You can't put up, anything that would be considered illegal. So if posting that image on, the internet would get you arrested or would get you in trouble, then you can't do that on Mintable. Also, you cannot post content that you don't own the rights to. That's illegal. So it falls in the same category. But if I take the image of, say, the McDonald's logo, and I try to make that as an NFT and sell that, that's illegal because I'm trying to sell McDonald's logo, which I don't own the rights to. McDonald's does, right? And so this is, copyright infringement, and this applies to NFTs just like it does anywhere. I can't put the McDonald's logo on a T-shirt and then sell the T-shirt on Shopify because I don't own the rights to use that logo. So, and this,
you're in
applies
China.
to everything. Well, even then, you still can't.
There are some limitations, but yeah.
And so anything that violates copyright, we have a DCMA request that people can do, and they can remove infringing content. And anything that's illegal will be removed, right? And so that's really it. Other than that, we you know, we don't have any other criteria.
But here's the question: if this is a question from me, if somebody puts something illegal on Mintable and you delete it, it's still on the blockchain though, correct? If it's done with Ethereum.
Yeah, so the NFT is still on the blockchain. It just won't show up on Mintable's website.
Yeah, just to be, because a lot of people might just jump in here and like, oh, it's not decentralized, blah blah, fud fud. You know how people are. So just make sure people understand that. So let's talk a little bit about Mintable at this point, and then we can get back to the chat later on. Let's talk a little bit about Mintable. What is Mintable? Why Mintable?
What do you mean, why Mintable?
Well, let's go. What is Mintable? Let's talk about Mintable for our viewers here. Basically, let's shill Mintable for a bit. Why should someone join Mintable?
So, I mean, Mintable is a marketplace for you to trade, make, and create, buy, sell, do everything related to NFTs that you need to do.
Recording in progress.
If you want to create an NFT, Mintable is the most flexible place for you to do that. It's also the cheapest place for you to do that. If you want to trade NFTs, Mintable is the best place for you to stand out and to sell and market your product, which is your NFT, to thousands of people. So Mintable is a marketplace that you should be utilizing, and you can utilize it at the same time as other marketplaces, right? You can have an NFT that you make on Mintable, that you sell on Rarible and OpenSea and Mintable all at the same time, right? And so you have triple the chances of it selling. And so, we've got a ton of features and tools that are very different from other marketplaces, such as direct messaging or being able to batch mint 2,000 NFTs in a single transaction. These are all things that are really unique to Mintable and that no other marketplace has. So from a creator standpoint, if you want to create an NFT, you should use Mintable. And then if you don't want to sell it on Mintable, that's fine. You can sell it on other marketplaces, but there's no reason that you should not be making your NFT on Mintable, because it's the most flexible option for you to create an NFT. And I mean, if you want to, there's just so many things that you can edit and change and choose. If you want to host your own data, if you want the data hosted on IPFS, if you want it hosted by us, if you want your own smart contract, if you want to do it for free, if you want to make 2,000 NFTs in a single transaction, there's just all these different options. So you should utilize it as a creator. As a buyer, if you don't have crypto, you can buy NFTs with your credit card on Mintable. And we're the only marketplace that you can buy NFTs with a credit card that lets anyone go and create an NFT. So that's huge as well. So overall, you should check out Mintable. You should, join, set up an account, start collecting NFTs now. And then for the people that are not creators, go buy some NFTs. Go buy like 2 or 3 NFTs that are, maybe $50, and then resell them. Immediately list them for sale for $200, and watch what happens. Watch if you pay $50 and you wake up tomorrow with $200, and you're like, wow, okay, hold on, this is a good moneymaker, right? I actually trade and swap and utilize NFTs. So you should definitely go try that. And if you're a creator, then I don't even have to convince you. Go try any other platform to create an NFT, and then go try Mintable. And I guarantee you're going to stick with Mintable to create NFTs, just because it's that much better.
Awesome.
So actually, Paul, I do need to run. I have a meeting.
I was about to. I was about to say, and with that note, let's pick this up next week or the week after again. Maybe we're going to do a few of these shows for people to ask more questions. If you joined and we didn't answer your question, no problem. Just comment down below this video after this live stream, and we can answer your question next time. Hopefully, you'll join us and you can answer anything else. Ask anything else you want. Zach, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate your information and everything. Thank you, man.
Awesome.
And thank you guys for watching too. Okay, we did that again. All right, bye-bye. Take care. Bye. And there you have it. That was Zach Burks of mintable.app. Go ahead, check out Mintable. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next live stream or the next video short, or we'll see.